do long ones when it's just the two of us.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. So my movie was where is it? The Hitcher, which I got because it said Rutger Hauer on it, and it's very good Rutger Hauer performance. It's about 20 minutes of a really solid thriller about this guy who picks up a psychopath killer hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Who he kicks out of his car by dumb luck, and then the hitcher follows him for a while. And then the guy calls the cops. And then the movie starts to lose its mind.
Yeah.
It starts to become another movie, as it were. It starts to become something about an unstoppable killer stalking someone very slowly. And the cops arrest the guy, thinking he's associated with the killer.
Yeah.
And there's an interrogation scene, and a scene in a hotel room where the guy and the girl are escaping the stalker. Basically what I'm saying is this movie's The Terminator, but with cars.
Yeah.
And cops in Texas.
Yeah, cops in Texas.
With the hats.
Crud, did I just... No, it's fine.
Which, I've told these two, but I don't know if how many people I've told this. Cops in Texas do have those hats, but they only wear them for TV.
Haha.
Found that out because we actually talked to one.
And he's like, yeah, no, we've got like an image to maintain.
Basically.
That's so depressing. That's so incredibly depressing.
That they don't wear the hats?
No, that they think about oh, we're going to be on TV, better put on my TV hat. It's like something I'd come up with for my show as a joke. But they do it on purpose.
Welcome to Texas.
Okay, so, no, the movie starts out solid enough. Like, guy's driving a long time from, like, Chicago to California, which we later find out he diverted through Texas.
Which, the only thing we can figure is he's going around Colorado.
Which still feels like you should just cut through Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Maybe they're... I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with the roads out there to know what the optimal route is.
Well, if the interstates match the train systems in any way, there's a straight shot through Colorado from Chicago to California.
Okay.
And then there's straight down to Louisiana that loops along the bottom border through Texas.
Right.
There's nothing that, like, goes... I mean, yeah, you can go directly from Chicago to Texas, but it's like the long legs of a triangle. Like,
right.
You could have just taken the hypotenuse, you moron. I don't know. But yeah, no, it starts off fine. Rutger Hauer is effectively really fucking creepy with a knife in a car with a stranger. There's a great bit where we catch up, where like he catches up with the guy because he hitched a ride with a family, and you see him in the back with the kids, and you're just like, ah. It plays really well in the fact that we, the audience, know a lot more than the people he's in the car with.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's just, like, tailing this poor guy who kicked him out of his car, and it gets to, like, Jason levels of he's always there.
Yeah, it's to the point where you question whether he's supernatural or not.
Yeah.
Which I accept only because it's Rutger Hauer. For he is magic.
And then, so the kid gets framed for his murders somehow.
Something about he stole his wallet.
Yeah. But then the kid just starts making bad horror movies are all about white people making bad decisions.
Which is the only reason they get on the bad side of the cops. Ha!
This movie takes that to another level.
He was doing alright. Like, he gets to, like, a diner. He's like, please let me in. I gotta call the cops. She lets him in. He calls the cops, and he gives his name, and the cops are like, don't leave there. And they show up and arrest him, and we're like, what's going on? But then we find out, like, he planted, first of all, his bloody knife on him, and and the guy's identity at some of the crime scenes. So I'm like, okay, I follow. Then he gets locked in jail, and then somehow the guy kills the 3 cops in the jail and lets him out while he's napping.
Yeah. Which, at this point, the movie should have been find the keys, lock yourself in, and throw the keys away.
Wait for other cops to show up.
Because at that point, if you are in your cell with the door locked, you didn't do it.
And, so he runs, and he takes a gun from a dead cop. That was primo mistake number 1.
Yeah. Mistake number 2 was not checking the gun to see if it had bullets.
So he runs, then he gets on a bus. No, he stops at a diner, and
the dude
fucking
shows up.
Dracula shows up again, and is like, hey, you forgot to check the gun for bullets. It's pretty clear that the reason John Ryder, so clever, the hitchhiker, is doing this because he wants to die, but he's got some weird ideas in his head about who's allowed to kill him, and has decided the kid because the kid fought back and kicked him out of his car while it was moving.
I guess.
I mean, I followed that in sort of crazy, insane person logic land.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
I mean, it seems like at any point you could have just committed death by cop.
yeah.
But so the kid breaks onto a cross-country bus and takes the girl from the diner hostage. Not sure why she has to take a bus like that to get to work.
I mean, we saw her get off of that bus.
We
earlier.
did. I'm not questioning like her presence on the bus in the movie logic. I'm questioning it more in real world logic. It just seems like a hell of a. But then again, this is the middle of fuck nowhere, Texas.
Yeah, this is the middle of nowhere, Texas.
So she remembers him, and he takes her hostage, kind of, but is like, oh no, the cops caught up to this bus, well I guess I'm just gonna have to give up, because he's not actually gonna take people hostage.
Right.
It's not like his plan, right? Oh, did I forget an entire scene of him, like, holding cops at gunpoint?
We did. Okay, so
this is where he really starts making poor decisions.
Yeah, so he's got this gun, and a couple of cops pull up, and he's like in a phone booth, and he decides to hold them at gunpoint, have one of them handcuff the other. They get in the car, and he says drive, and
then he like radios the captain and is I'll turn myself in.
Yeah, he tells them to get a hold of the captain, and he says I'll turn myself in, and the captain's like, yes, just come on in, and we'll
talk.
We'll talk, and we'll get all this worked out. And then,
frickin' teleporting Jason Voorhees shows up in the car he stole earlier.
And shoots both the cops.
Yeah, which is a hell of a shot. But later he brings down a helicopter with five
shots.
Revolver bullets. Yeah. So, damn.
Once again, you start to wonder if he's magic.
He is magic. Didn't you see Blade Runner?
No, I didn't.
I know. I'm just messing with you. So that was okay, so there's a level of bad decision making in movies that makes sense. Okay, so after these two cops get shot, he runs out of the car carrying the gun, and he's screaming and not doing smart person things. He's also just watched two people get shot in front of him.
Yeah.
He is having a bad day.
There's one point where he's on the ground, he's holding the gun up to himself, and I'm like, you know what? That makes sense at this point.
Yeah, it's there are actions that characters can take that are illogical that you can roll with.
Yeah. Because
they're not thinking logically right now.
Right.
They're not safe on their couch like me, and this is especially true in horror movies where everyone's like, why did you do that? And there doesn't have to be a great reason why they did that. People make bad decisions.
Yeah.
I do draw the line at the birds. I believe I've mentioned this before. But she wakes up, hears fluttering of wings behind a door that she has no reason to go into, and opens the door. It's like, did you think there wouldn't be birds at the sound of fluttering wings? It's look, I know. Oh God, Alfred Hitchcock is the guy who came up with the line, the reason people don't call cops in movies is because it's boring. But there is a limit, Mr. Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Also, that limit is called tying live birds to your actresses so that their fear of birds seems real.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I don't know. I feel like the more interesting movies are the ones where they try to call the cops, but they can't for some reason.
Yeah,
because they take it away.
Yeah. And nowadays, like, fuck, you can just be like, there's no signal here. And, like, you know, if you're in the middle of nowhere enough, I buy it.
Yeah.
Cell service in the United States sucks.
Yeah.
If you're not in a major city, and even if you're in a major city.
Yeah, I would say even if you're in a major city, it sucks.
Like, the explanation doesn't have to be elaborate, is what I'm saying, movies.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he gets to, the diner, and he calls the cops, because the diner has a working fucking phone.
Yes, because this is the 80s.
And it's a diner that clearly is in good repair, so the fact that the phone works, if the phone hadn't worked, that would feel a little contrived. But it did work.
I don't know if I've been to Texas. That wouldn't...
Where were we?
So, let's see. So, he...
kidnaps the girl, but
he
decides
kidnaps the girl.
against it, and is like,
And he's like, I'm going to turn myself in. And they're freaking out, you know, get on the ground, the whole thing. He's turning himself in, and
one of the cops is clearly trying to get him to reach for his gun so that he can shoot him, and he's like,
Yeah.
And the girl decides, holy shit, this is an example of a character doing something that makes no fucking sense and is not forgivable.
Yeah.
Decides to pull a gun on the fucking cops she knows by first name.
Yeah.
To protect this guy she's known for like 15 minutes. And like, yes, she witnessed the cops trying to murder him, but that doesn't mean you pull a gun on them. Because that's not the kind of thing you can say, my B, to in court.
There was a great moment when he... When he's on the bus and the girl goes to the bathroom and he jumps in there with her.
Yeah.
And he's holding the gun to her and he says, I didn't do it. I'm like, but you're doing this!
It's like, you're not helping your case here. Your decisions are spiraling out of control.
Like, yes, he didn't murder anyone, but assault with a deadly weapon is still gonna put you away.
And they have reason to believe that he killed some cops.
Yes.
And a bunch of other people. Like, I get that.
Yeah. I mean, a skilled enough lawyer could get him off, but not when you start threatening and kidnapping cops.
So, him and the girl named Nash, because Nashville, I guess, is what...
I don't know.
Whatever. Jennifer Jason Leigh, which is also a familiar name. I'm gonna look her up. What was she in?
Not familiar.
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
What kind of monster gives their daughter the middle name Jason?
Let's see. Most known for... Oh shit, she was in The Hateful Eight. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Single White Female.
Yeah.
She was in Annihilation, Backdraft.
Twin Peaks.
The Machinist. Anomalisa. This woman has had a career. I'm gonna just go on the record and say, Road to Perdition. This was not a highlight of her life in movies. Oh shit, she was in The Jacket too? Have you seen The Jacket?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'll bring that one sometime. That one's more of a psychological thriller than a horror movie, but I think it's a good movie. Yeah, she was in Twin Peaks. Huh.
Buried Alive. That's such a good movie.
Yeah, she has had quite a career. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, though. Ugh, that movie. So yeah, she and the guy who's so bland, which is weird because like, okay, so in the first part of the movie, this was some acting that I actually noticed. He is doofy. He is kind of schlubby looking in his like red checkered coat driving.
Yeah.
And he's not like imposing looking. He's just a dude. And like I was convinced that he was just gonna get offed and we were gonna follow the Hitcher for the rest of the movie.
Right.
But no, we follow this guy for the rest of the movie. And when he gets to the restaurant, he like puts on a leather jacket and suddenly like his entire acting persona changes from kind of schlubby guy to I've seen some shit intensity.
Yeah.
Which is commendable. It's
Yeah.
not exactly fun to watch for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, but I mean, they put some effort in at least.
Yeah, like he acted. If he had just been doing like the intensity, good looks thing the whole movie, I would have laughed at him.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he showed actual range is impressive. So he and the girl get in the car, a police car, and are driving, and then 2 other police cars come up and just shooting at him with shotguns.
Yeah.
Like, the cops have just stopped giving a fuck. And they managed to make those cars shoot each other and crash and definitely kill the drivers.
Yeah.
Definitely dead. The cars rolled like 15 times. And then, this is hilarious, not intentionally, the helicopter comes over the hill, and I'm like, oh shit, the Hitcher got a helicopter! And then I thought better of it. It's like, nah, it's the cops.
Yeah.
But for a second there, I was like, oh my god! So then they have a helicopter chase, and the Hitcher catches up to them and brings down the helicopter.
In 5 shots.
5. I mean, and it's not like it explodes immediately or anything. It like smokes and the engine stalls and then crashes and explodes. So like
5 shots.
it wasn't like when the Terminator shoots it down with like his minigun of doom.
Yeah.
But still, like at that point, the movie is just like completely lost its shit. And they hide out in a motel. And they have the scene where she calls her family even though she's not supposed to.
Right.
Which again is a Terminator thing, and I'm like, there's like 3 scenes that are just so Terminator, it's incredible. Although the bit with the helicopter and the truck shooting it down, that was a bit more Maximum Overdrive in terms of just like, wow, this movie got stupid suddenly.
Well, let's see. Terminator was 1984.
This was 86.
86?
Yeah, I have a distinct impression they were ripping it off.
Yeah, like, because it's like as soon as Terminator came out, this movie started being made.
I mean, 2 years is about the length of time for modern movies. Back then, you could throw together a movie like this a lot faster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because apart from, like, needing to get the stunt team together, you don't really have to put a lot of work into scouting locations or anything, or getting actors.
Yeah.
Nowadays, movies take a lot longer to get going because there's a lot more moving parts.
Yeah.
You gotta get, like, the effects team on, you gotta get, like, the scouting locations, and you gotta fit it into the greater Marvel framework. Which is why those movies take so long. Of course, then you've got Fury Road, which was storyboarded for like 15 fucking years.
Yeah.
It's like, just gonna draw the movie.
It's gonna take us some time.
Oh, so it's animated. Nah, I just can't get a budget together, so I'm just doing this in my spare time. How much spare time? 10 years. So, he breaks into the hotel room with fucking magic powers again.
Yeah, like, okay, the doors and windows are locked,
We would assume it's a hotel.
and then he's just in the room.
Kidnaps the girl, and then legitimately this was pretty fucking, like, intense. Hooks her up, this is like a truck stop, between a tractor trailer and the motor. She's, like, trussed up like she's on the train tracks in an old, like, silent movie.
Yeah.
But it's not silent. She's screaming in agony, and he's got his foot on the clutch, so if the cops just shoot him, the truck rolls and tears her in half.
Yeah.
So he asks the kid to shoot him, and he's like, but it'll kill her.
But she'll die.
And he's like, God, I'm so disappointed in you, and he just kills her.
Yeah.
Which was surprising.
Yeah, like he takes his foot off the clutch, the kid dives at him, and she dies.
I was not expecting her to die.
We didn't see it, but she died.
Oh, so dead. Then Armin Shimmerman for like 2 seconds, which was neat. Oh, that was the other scene that was just like Terminator, where they have like the guy sit down and talk to the psychologist.
Yeah.
With the bald patch. And it's like, what's going on? So they don't have any information on who he is, but they like the cops at this point are like, yeah, your story about the hitchhiker checks now.
Yeah. We got him.
But of course they don't have him. He breaks out of his prison transport bus. But the kid hijacked another police car at gunpoint.
Yeah, so I don't know, like the captain's driving him somewhere, I guess to the bus station or
I would
something.
guess, like,
And he sees the cop's gun, he's like, hey, can I have a cigarette? He's like, sure.
steal a gun.
steals the gun, holds up the captain, and it's like, why?
Ah!
And the fact that he was completely right that the dude was gonna break out doesn't justify that action.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like I could teach a lesson on, like, cinematic logic. I could teach a course on how there is logic that, though it breaks the comprehension of reality, doesn't break the comprehension of a movie.
Right.
And then there's logic that does. And the girl holding a cop she knows by first name at gunpoint is just an action that does not check with any sort of logic in the movie at all.
Yeah.
Like, or it just makes no sense for her character. She's known this guy for, 15 minutes total, and half of that was him holding her at gunpoint.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe she doesn't want to see him get shot necessarily, but that doesn't mean she holds people hostage to stop that from happening.
Yeah. Especially discharging the weapon in their general direction.
Yeah, that's a big no-no. So he runs Rucker Hauer over. He's not dead, but then he shoots him with a shotgun, and he's dead.
And
Depending on what happens in the sequel that you looked up.
Yeah.
which was made 17 years
And
later.
he's-
So
Rutger Hauer's not in this one, but
I'm gonna
Steve
go on
Thomas
the,
Howell is.
yeah, gonna go out on a limb and say that he's very dead. Interactive menus. Holy shit! This DVD has interactive menus, guys! Including cast and crew bios, multiple language and subtitle tracks, and scene selection. Does it have director's commentary? I would actually be kind of interested in the director's commentary on
there's
this.
another Hitcher in 2007.
It's not. I don't know if that's the same thing.
I know it's Sean Bean, so
Well, he dies.
Oh my god, they spoiled the bit about this is a stretch for actress Jennifer Jason Leigh, especially when she's tied between two vehicles heading in opposite directions.
Wow.
It's like, motherfuckers,
there's another one in 2012.
spoilers on the motherfucking back of the case.
Yep. The Hitcher 2, I've been waiting.
I've heard of that.
So this movie wasn't very good.
This is the one with C. Thomas Halsey.
This movie was not very good. But it was for like 20 minutes. Like, that whole opening segment where he's just running from the Hitcher and kind of like following the trail of cars that he's left by the side of the road. That's tense. That's working as a movie.
I think it would have been better if they would have like kept it all on the road, not involving the cops and
Yeah.
making it an action movie.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
just like kept following him or whatever, but they already did that movie already. That was Duel.
Let's see, 2000.
Yeah.
Like this movie has been made 1 billion times over.
Yeah, it's Duel plus Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, the 2007 is a straight remake of this.
Oh, is
Sean,
it?
Sean Bean as John Ryder.
Oh.
Dies.
Oh, that's
That's
not bad casting though.
Zachary Knight as Jim Halsey. Yeah. So 2007 was a straight remake.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you're right that this movie would have worked if either he had killed the kid, like the first guy he like gets in the car with, and we follow him down the road.
Yeah.
Or we do keep with this kid as he tracks like the trail of cars he's left by the side of the road.
Yeah.
And he like keeps bumping into this guy in places, but he's like, if I say anything, people think I'm crazy.
Right.
So he's constantly running or running into this guy's trail of destruction.
And then you have the big cop thing at the end.
I still don't think you need the big cop thing, but if cops get involved at the end.
Yeah.
But not all throughout the movie.
No, because
Yeah.
that's just a different movie. That's I've been mistaken for a criminal movie, and it's
Yeah.
not like it's a different kind of tension
Yeah.
from the first bit. Because in the first bit you're tense in the way it's like, oh shit, this is really like this is a tough scenario to be in. What do you do?
Yeah.
But then like when the cops show up, you're just second guessing like all of his actions that need to happen for the plot to happen.
Yeah.
And some of them make sense, but others do not. And it's
Nope.
just, nope. Plus, even with, like, okay, so, like, the chief of police is like, okay, the Hitcher has tied up a woman, like, Dick Dastardly, and you were clearly not fibbing about the crazy hitchhiker who put a knife in your pocket. Like, we believe you.
Yeah.
That still does not get you a ride to the bus stop.
Yeah.
You have many questions to answer about your behavior that led to several cop cars rolling over.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, at least 6, maybe 7 cops are dead as a direct or indirect result of this kid's actions.
Yeah. Mostly indirect. He didn't shoot anyone until he got a shotgun on the Hitcher.
Yeah.
But
So I pulled up the IMDb for the remake in 2007.
oh boy.
It says Rutger Hauer, who played the character of John Ryder in the original, was offered a cameo but declined for artistic reasons. Hauer has since said in the press that he has yet to watch the remake, and according to some of his friends, he shouldn't bother.
That's some
reasons.
that is some delicious snark there, IMDb trivia section.
I like how it said for artistic reasons.
My character's dead. How could I be in the movie? I would love it if that was his reason.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't because that movie was kind of crap, why would I want to be in the shitty remake?
Yeah.
No, his reason is, like, my character died. It would make no sense for me to appear in the movie. Like, I'd love it if he brought that level of artistic intensity to this piece of crap.
See, now I'm kind of curious.
This movie is interesting, just not fun to watch.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, he just...
This trivia section is a gold
that.
mine.
He's supposed
Oh
to
my
look menacing,
God.
but he doesn't.
Sean Bean White.
He
They
doesn't
tried to
look
make him look
menacing at
like...
all.
They tried to Mad Max him. No! No! It would have been creepier if he had, like, the long Sean Bean locks and looked kind of put together and cheerful and then pulled a knife on you. That's
Yeah.
practically what Rutger Hauer was doing here. He didn't really do a lot of, like, snarl faces.
Oh god, and
It was always just kind of detached amusement.
it's not even Halsey that's got the gun on him at the end.
We have just fallen down a whole rabbit hole here, haven't we?
Yeah, look, it's the girl that's got him.
I mean, sure. Why not? Spoilers photos on the IMDb trivia page for the Hitcher.
Oh yeah, the dude is the one tied up.
Yep.
Huh.
I mean, that's at least a reason to make the movie, I guess.
Huh. Weird.
Nah, I don't really recommend this movie.
No.
Not even as a Rutger Hauer fan like myself.
I feel like I'm gonna see some of these just out of curiosity, but
I feel like I want someone to make this movie better, because there's a good movie in here.
well, there was parts of a good movie.
Yeah, and I want those parts to be expanded into a full movie, rather than the 20-minute short film I just showed you,
Yeah.
with the cop carnage attached. Like that scene in the abandoned gas station where he just throws him his keys.
Yeah.
You cut the movie off there, and you've got a solid short film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make that cut. And I'll just show that to people and be like, yeah, you should check out this short film. It's really good. Wait, didn't you say there was Jennifer Jason Leigh in this? Nah.
Ah.
Alright, bye everybody.